Welcome to my channel! Learn with Teacher Ali!
Grade 2, Mathematics, Quarter 1, Week 2, Day 1.
Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learners are able to compose a figure using cutouts of two or more familiar shapes, such as half circle and rectangle, square and or triangle, quarter circle and rectangle, square and or triangle.
Students, what should we remember when composing a figure given a set of shapes? Can you recall how to compose a figure using a set of shapes? A triangle is a shape with 3 sides and 3 corners, while a half circle is a shape that is 1/2 of a full circle. Now, here are some possible answers if we compose a figure using those shapes. Students, were we able to form only one figure from the given shapes? Given a half circle, 2 quarter circles, and 1 rectangle, we can form many different figures. Can we decompose the figure we form into a half circle, 2 quarter circles, and 1 rectangle? Figure A and Figure B were decomposed into several shapes. Now let's have a group activity. Number 1. Recreate Figure A using the shapes in Set A. Place their work on a sheet of Manila paper. Number 2. Recreate Figure B using the shapes in Set B. Place their work on another sheet of Manila paper. Now, to summarize our lesson, how do we compose a figure given a set of 2 or more shapes? What should we remember when we composing a figure given a set of shapes? Day 2. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to describe the change in the position of a basic shapes or figure after a one-step slide or translation is performed, and draw the position of a basic shape or figure after a slide or translation is performed. Students, what shapes can you see on the screen? Now, students, let's play. Here are the rules of the games. Slides or translations involve moving the shape or object a certain distance in a specified direction. Students, what do you call this drawing? As you can see on the screen, these are called cells. Now let us put a hole on the upper left corner of the cell. Now let us trace the square cutout and the circular hole in the center of the grid. Now, students, observe the movement of the square cutout. Now let us answer the following. How many cells did the square slide? In what direction did the square slide? Here is another examples. For teachers, slide the cutout one movement at a time, and then continue asking the learners what movement occurred with the square and write the answer on the board. Now let us trace the half circle cutout in the second row, third column on the grid. Now let us slide the half circle 2 cells downward. Here is another example. Now let us trace the quarter circle cut out in the second row, first column. Now let us try to slide the quarter circle 4 cells to the right. Good job, everyone! Now, slide the figure according to the given distance and direction. Draw it in its new position. To summarize our lesson, here are the ideas how to slide or translate shapes and figures. Day 3. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to describe the change in the position of the basic shapes or figure after a one-step flip is performed, and draw the position of a basic shape or figure after a flip is performed. Students, what can you see on the cutout? That's right! It is circular and has a triangle hole. Now let us place the cutout in the cell on the upper left corner of the 5x5 grid. Now let us try to slide it one cell to the right. Students, this is the new position of the cutout. Students, what movement was performed to the cutout? Did the appearance of the shape change after a slide was performed? Now let's try a different movement. Students, observe carefully. Now let us trace the circle and the small triangle again in the leftmost cell of the second row and then flip the cutout to the right. Students, here is the new position of the cutout. Now let us try to answer the following questions. What has changed in the circle after it was moved? What happened with the position of the triangle inside the circle? What remained the same in the circle after it was moved? Do you think a slide was performed on the circle? Why? What movement do you think was done to the circle here? Refer to the second drawing. A flip produces a mirror image of a shape or figure by turning it over. Drawn to show the flipping movement of the shapes or figure, with the arrowhead pointing to the direction where the shape flipped. Students, here is an example. Now let us try another one. Here is a circle cut out with rectangular hole. Now students, trace the cutout in the upper right cell of the 5x5 grid. And then, flip the cutout downward. To summarize our lesson, here are the ideas how to flip shapes and figures. A slide involves moving a shape from one position to another without changing its orientation or appearance. A flip involves turning the shape over in a specified direction to create a mirror image. Day 4. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to describe the change in the position of the basic shapes and figure after a multi-step slide or flips are performed, and draw the position of a basic shape or figure after a multi-step slide and or flip is performed. Students, determine whether the foot slides, flips, or both and in which direction. Students, let us have a group activity. I will divide the class into 4. So here are the instructions. Trace the cutout in the middle of the grid. First member, slide the cutout one cell to the left. Slide it again one cell to the left and trace the cutout in its new position. Second member, flip the cutout upward. Flip it upward and trace the cutouts in its new position. Third member, flip the cutout to the right. Slide it 3 cells to the right and trace the cutout in its new position. And for the fourth member, slide the cutout 1 cell downward. Slide it again 2 cells downward, flip it downward, and trace the cutout in its new position. At the end of all tasks, the final drawings should look like this. Let the learners stay with their group. Erase the square drawings on the grid. Provide each group with 2 cutouts of the shape. Ensure that each member is involved in the activity. Remember, students, that there are many ways to move the shape from its first to its second position. However, it is not possible to slide it many times. Only flipping many times or a combination of sliding and flipping is possible. Students, what is the difference between flip and slide? What is the difference between one-step and multi-step? What is the difference between one-step and multi-step slide or flip?
Thank you for watching! Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for you to be updated on our latest videos. See you on our next lesson. Goodbye!